Neutrog Biological Fertilisers bring soil back to life at good hardware stores. Neutrog.com.au. This is 5AA Weekends.
Michael Keelan's weekend. Always good to start with a bit of the Eagles. 21 to 8. 8223 AA is the number. If you've got a question for Michael Keelan, you're in the running today. Before 10 o'clock, we'll give someone a Husqvarna pressure cleaner valued at $200 thanks to Stanford Mowers at Jeps Cross. They are the biggest power equipment dealer in SA. Your deck will just look... Oh, you forget the table, Michael. You'll be eating off the deck. It'll be that clean and spotless after this pressure cleaner.
And also the veranda, tiles clean. Wire doors.
Everything that needs to be cleaned, you will clean with this prize. All you got to do is be part of the show. Give Michael a call before 10 o'clock and you're in the running for that. We also have to give away, thanks to Neutrog, a great prize today. It's a big bucket full, 4 kilo bucket of bush tucker. Is it 4 kilo, Dr. Ewing?
It is. Yep.
That's a great prize as he joins us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You look different. Now, what's your new glasses?
No, shorts. I'm wearing shorts for the first time.
I'm not looking at it. And you've got a T-shirt. Sarcasm is one of the services I offer.
That's right. Have you got a temperature that you say, right, this is shorts weather? You know, 28's not, but sort of 32 is.
I'm one of these people that once I get into shorts, I hate getting out of shorts. But, you know, I don't wear shorts to work anymore. My wife said to me a while back, she goes, now you're working at a proper place and not the university, you've got to start wearing big boy pants. So, no, I don't wear shorts to work anymore. But
that's pretty acceptable.
But I do love wearing my shorts, especially once it gets a bit warmer.
Nice pair of linen shorts and loafers.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's so hot in the studio. I think we wear shorts probably all year round, don't we?
Well, almost. Yeah, it's only a few days in the winter.
Yeah, I remember when I lived in Germany, I decided I was going to wear shorts all summer till spring came.
Yeah.
Some mornings that was a mistake, I can tell you, when you're walking along. Cold wind was blowing, but...
Now, we're looking at a group of plants today that need specialist care in lots of areas, but more so with feeding.
Well, that's right. I guess a lot of people don't think about their natives and feeding them, because we do see them grow naturally and people think, well, they're not being fed. You know, I can just stick them in and forget about them. But they do need to be fed. They do need water. And I think the idea is that a lot of people are afraid of feeding their natives. And it harks back to the days when everybody said, our natives are all sensitive to phosphate. And that's actually completely wrong. A lot of those studies were done with fertilisers that had enormous amounts of phosphate, up to 10%. And very few plants are actually truly phosphate sensitive. It's a few plants out of WA and some parts of New South Wales. But the plants in SA, the trees, the wattles, the eucalypts, none of them are actually sensitive to phosphate. So...
high amounts.
High amounts. We're talking about, greater than 3% or so. So, you still need to feed them. And I think for them to look their best, that's what you really need to do. You need to feed them, you need to water them, and occasionally give them a trim. Yeah.
So are you looking at, in your range, Rapid Razor, Seamungus?
Yeah, Seamungus is pretty good.
Pretty good,
obviously. That's my favourite. Rapid Razor you can get away with, for sure. And then obviously Bush Tucker, which we designed specifically for it. Yep. So we did that together with Angus Stewart, who's a native plant specialist. So, it's a great fertiliser. This idea with the phosphate is that those plants that do come from those areas, they are sensitive. They're... what normally happens is a plant will take up nutrients, and when it has enough, there's what we call a feedback loop, so it stops taking up certain nutrients. It just switches a system off that takes them up. With these plants, because they come from an environment where there's low levels of phosphate, they don't have that switch. They don't switch off the uptake. So, they're a bit like me and chocolate. Once I sit down with chocolate, I can't stop myself. I don't have a.
Do you like dark chocolate?
No, actually, I just like white chocolate.
Oh no,
sweet chocolate.
I like white chocolate.
If it's dark chocolate, I don't mind it with orange.
Why do
or peppermint?
So you're like the Milky Bar kid.
Oh yeah, I am.
Like white chocolate? No.
Oh, milk. I should say milk chocolate.
Oh, milk chocolate. You like white chocolate?
I know, I like
but
white.
It's not really chocolate, is it?
No, I don't know.
Didn't we find that out from Fiona?
I think so. Yeah, correct.
From
Hagues.
No.
And I should have said milk chocolate. I didn't mean white chocolate.
Yeah. Well, there. No, that's all right. Yeah. That's all right.
And dark chocolate, obviously, it's got peppermint in it or something.
Someone said it's healthy, so straight away my brain went, and you're out.
Now, Yui, in saying this about low phosphorus, that gives some comfort to people that have a big gum tree in their backyard, like our garden. And around that tree it plays host to a lot of shade-loving plants.
Yep, for sure.
My candy palms and all sorts. Now, I've always understood that about the phosphorus, and so I think I've given them sea mungus at one stage, maybe rapid razor, but with absolutely no effect on the gum tree. I think it's flourished, if anything else.
I think there's lots of people that have gum trees near their lawns, and they feed their lawn, and they don't think, they think, oh, I'll just feed my lawn.
Right, yeah.
And nobody thinks about that. The gum tree roots are actually, in many ways, it's like, it's the hardest place to grow any lawn is near a gum tree. But, they take up those nutrients with no ill effects whatsoever. And actually, by strengthening and feeding your plants, you avoid things like pests. They become more pest resistant. Giving them good water means they won't drop branches. So there's a whole range of things that actually are advantageous if you keep your plants happy and healthy. Besides looking better, they're disease resistant, and as I said, gum trees don't drop as many branches if they're fed well and watered well.
That's the last thing you'd think of feeding is in the garden, a gum tree.
It is. But you should. I mean, my gum tree gets fed when I feed my other plants. Obviously, I mean, like I said before, I love my sea mungus, but I only have a few natives. I have a few pittosporums, some lily pillies, and a few gum trees. But they do get occasionally a feed of rapid razor or sea mungus. But if you are growing a Australian native garden, especially if you're growing things like some of the Banksias and that type of thing, then ideally, if you want to be on the safe side,
Bush tucker.
Go for bush tucker.
Yeah. Yep.
Less than 1% phosphate, and you're perfectly safe. And the good thing about bush tucker is we've actually sort of improved the level of potassium and nitrogen in it, so it's a chemically boosted. So you'll get lots of healthy green growth with good root developments, and that's really what you want.
We used to grow a lot of gum trees we wouldn't propagate them, but we'd buy them in a 4-inch pot, I think, and pop them on into bucket shrub tubs.
Yep.
And I reckon a guy that was running our nursery at that stage was using every now and then sulphate of ammonia.
Yeah. Yep.
On the gum trees. They loved it.
Yep. Yeah. I
So
mean,
that's
just
what, 21% nitrogen?
Oh, yeah, it's quite high.
It's pretty high.
Pretty full on.
Yeah. So it's amazing.
Yeah. So I think this whole idea that you don't fertilise your natives, it's a bit like you don't water your cacti, you don't water your succulents. It's that they require exactly as other
geraniums.
plants. Or your geraniums.
Pelargoniums,
yes. Yeah. So, go for it.
All right, Yuri, that's very good information. I'm sure that'll bring a lot of comfort to people that have the big gum tree in the backyard with lawn and they, no, I can't do this, I can't do that.
Don't be afraid to fertilise.
No,
I mean, unless you're growing some really specific plants from WA,
the likelihood of that would be those plants would be grown by a person that really understands the setup.
Yep. I mean, even in a nursery setting, the majority of nurseries wouldn't grow those types of, unless you're a specialist nursery, wouldn't grow those types of plants because they do represent a bit more of a challenge to grow. Yeah.
Yuri, as always, you know what I'd love you to look at? Pine trees.
Oh, yep.
Because, with the problems we're having with that dieback and the beetle and all that sort of thing.
I struggle with that in my garden.
All right, there's a challenge. What do we feed them with? And how do we feed them? And how much do we feed them?
No, okay, that might be a conversation for next week or the week after.
Thanks, Yuri.
No worries.
Yuri Strode there from Neutrog. If they want people would like to get in touch with you.
info@neutrog.com.au.
Pretty easy.
Or, message us on Facebook or something like that.
And we have the big tub of bush tucker to give away to one of our listeners throughout the show. So thank you for bringing that in as well. Great to see you as always. And good luck with the chocolate. Dr. Yui Strower in shorts, our guest. 12 minutes to 8.